Hello and welcome. This is Jasur again from JR and Firm, and in today's presentation I'd like to talk about what documents are required to register a company in China. So this information is true for September 11, 2022. If there are any updates, we're going to post updated presentation. Let's get started, but before we start, I would like to talk about our company a little bit. Our company, like I mentioned in different videos, we are located in the US, JR and Firm, and we also have a company in China, Shanghai Silk Road. And I also mentioned that we separated corporate consultancy from Shanghai Silk Road. Shanghai Silk Road now only focuses on trading. But JR and Firm, our US company, provides corporate consultancy. So these services, which you can see here, provided by JR and Firm, our US company. So first of all, incorporation in many countries and regions. You can see the list here. And obviously post-company formation services, including structuring, restructuring, liquidation, maintenance, etc., and legal representation, especially in China and Hong Kong, Singapore, and some other countries. You can contact us. We have lawyers, actually, legal counsels of our companies in China, full-time. So if you have any disputes with Chinese suppliers or factories, you can give us a call or contact us, and we're going to discuss the options. And we also provide market research, company due diligence, trading solutions, and tailor-made corporate consultancy, obviously. If you would like to talk to me personally and discuss your situation, you can book a call here on our website, grandfirm.com, appointments. You can select a date and we will have a Zoom call. Now, our contact emails, both of them are active. Feel free to email us with your questions, with your business situation. I will be happy to discuss all the circumstances, and based on your specific situation, we're going to get back to you with the solution. So document number one is for individual shareholders. As you know, as we previously talked about, in China, when you register a company, you can choose if you want to have individual shareholder, or you can choose also corporate shareholder. So first of all, let's talk about the document required for individual shareholders. These are like people, right? So there are two scenarios. Scenario number one is shareholders are outside of China. So in this case, what we require is, which is required by company registrar, is legalized passport copy for each individual shareholder. Okay, if you have multiple shareholders, then for each one of them, you need to legalize their passports. Legalization is done at the Chinese embassy in the country of citizenship. So this element is actually, this part has been asked many times by our potential clients or viewers on YouTube. They say that, oh, I live in Dubai, or I live in Europe, but I am from India, or I'm from Spain, or whatever, different country. Can I legalize my passport here, or can I just get a letter from my embassy or something? The answer to these questions is depends. Okay, but regarding the letter from your own embassy in the country where you're living, the answer is definitely no. But legalizing your passport in the country where you are currently residing, probably yes, provided that Chinese embassy accepts your application. So it's really hard to say, all the Chinese embassies, work in the same way. because some Chinese embassies might not accept your application for legalization of your passport in the country where you're residing. Okay, not necessarily you're a citizen of that country, but you are simply residing. For example, let's just, for illustration purposes, I can say that you are a citizen of Pakistan or India, but you live in Dubai. So this is the very common case that we receive questions about. So you can try and speak to the Chinese embassy, okay, in United Arab Emirates. If they accept your application for passport legalization, that's great. Okay, you can get your passport legalized in UAE, and then you need to make sure that when they legalize your passport, they put a green seal, okay, on the backside. So this is very important. Normally, when you contact Chinese embassies, you need to explain, okay, why you need this legalization. They will give you an application basically, and there is a reason section. Okay, they ask you why. You can openly say that you want to register a company in China, so that's the main reason, and they will also tell you the full process of legalization. Okay, sometimes embassies work with local notary offices. They might refer you to them because they have connection, they have some agreement, etc. And the notary office will handle it for you. But if that is the case, I want you to mention to the notary office, like specifically, that you need that green seal, okay, of the Chinese embassy, because sometimes we've seen cases where when notary offices handle the cases, the whole process of legalization of passports, they do the legalization for different purposes, not for company registration, and therefore missing that green seal. Okay, so this is very crucial, guys. So when you do the legalization through notary office, please mention that you need that green seal of the Chinese embassy. Okay, so that's why, it really depends. Okay, you can try and speak to the Chinese embassy. If they accept your application in the place where you are living currently, this is great. If they don't accept it, however, you need to contact the Chinese embassy in your country of citizenship. All right. Now, once you legalize your passport, then the original legalized document, not your original passport, just the legalized document, it's just one paper. Sometimes it's 2 pages, sometimes it's 1 page. In the case of US, it's 2 pages and more sometimes. So this legalized document will have to be sent to China by post. Okay, this is very important. And yeah, you just have to contact DHL, FedEx, TNT, or whatever international postal service, and you need to send them to us, to our office. All right, next, individual shareholder again. Scenario number 2, shareholders are inside China. So in this case, we just need the original passport and personal visit to company registrar to sign documents. So basically, we're going to make an appointment for you to go to the company registrar in person with your original passport. But sometimes, okay, this is during pandemic. Okay, during pandemic, sometimes they don't need you to go there in person. Instead, they will require your original passport to be sent by post. Okay, they're going to hold on to your passport for 1 week until they verify your identity, etc., etc. So it's very secure, it's very safe actually. They just require you to send from within China your passport using this secure postal service, SF, for example, Shunfeng ID. So you just send them and then they will return it to you within 1 week. Okay. Now, let's talk about corporate shareholders. This is in case you want to use some company which is registered either inside China or outside of China as a corporate shareholder in your Chinese company. So in this case, these are the documents required. First of all, legalized set of company documents. Legalization is done at the Chinese embassy where the company is registered. This is very important now, okay? Just like I talked about, where you, for example, you have a company in India or Pakistan or somewhere else, but you reside in Dubai, for example, just for illustration purposes, right? So people might ask, can I, use Chinese embassy in the country where I'm currently living? 99.9% of the time, Chinese embassies will not accept documents from companies registered outside of that country. Okay, this is we've seen in practice. So my recommendation is don't bother contacting them because they will refuse. Because logically speaking, and by law as well, Chinese embassies can only attest or legalize the companies which are registered in that country where they are operating in. Okay. For example, in the case of Dubai, they can only attest or verify or legalize company documents from Dubai. That's it. All right. So this is logical and a common sense actually. So that's why if your company is in India or Pakistan or in any country that is outside of the Chinese embassy's functions, then you need to contact the Chinese embassy in that country, okay, in the place of company registration. So let them legalize your document, okay? And this is very important now, which documents, because in every country, the set of company documents might differ, right? So what we need is legalized company document which shows all the shareholders in the company. Okay, so you need to get that document which lists all the shareholders in the company and plus company director. So you need to legalize that document in addition to the set of company documents. Okay, so please understand it right. First of all, legalized set of company documents. That is all of the company documents. All right. And then you need to make sure, this one is additional information, okay? You need to make sure that in the set of company documents, there is a document that lists all the shareholders in the company plus company director. If there's no such document, you need to contact your own company registrar, whatever government database, okay, in the country where your company is registered, and obtain that document additional to the set of company documents and get it legalized as well, okay, in the Chinese embassy where the company is registered. And of course, legalized company documents should be sent to China by post, okay, same as your passport. So if you are doing simultaneously this, individual director, individual shareholder and corporate shareholder, let's say that you have individual shareholder plus corporate shareholder. So if you are doing this simultaneously, you can, put all the documents in one post, okay, and send us to China. Now, if a corporate shareholder is a Chinese company, let's say that you have a Chinese company or you have a Chinese partner who want to be a shareholder in your new Chinese company. So in this case, we just need copy of company license in China and copy of passport for legal person, aka company director. If it's a Chinese person, Chinese citizen, copy of their ID, Chinese ID will be required. It's not listed here. And copy of passport for shareholders, obviously, because if they have multiple shareholders in a Chinese company, and if they are foreigners, so in this case, copy of passport. If they are Chinese citizens, we will need a copy of their Chinese IDs. Next, document 2 now, and this is for company director. So again, in the case of company director, we have scenario number 1 and number 2. So in scenario number 1, company director is outside of China. So in this case, we will need a legalized passport copy. Okay, legalization is done at the Chinese embassy in the country of citizenship. Okay, so that's the thing, guys. Again, just like in the case of individual shareholder, the same thing, okay? Same thing. So if the Chinese embassy accepts your application where you are residing in right now, okay, maybe it's outside of country, outside of your own country where you're a citizen of, then that's great. If they don't accept your application for passport legalization, then unfortunately you need to contact the Chinese embassy where the company director is citizen of, okay? So once you do the legalization with that green seal in the backside of the legalized document, I keep saying legalized document because it's just a piece of paper the Chinese embassy issues, okay, on the basis of that passport when they legalize it, when they attest it. So that legalized document has a green seal of the Chinese embassy in the backside. It's very important. Once you get that, you need to post that document to China by post. All right. So next scenario actually for company director, again, if the company director is inside China, copy of passport, personal visit to the company, registrar to sign documents in person, or sometimes during pandemic, during COVID, they require you to send your original passport to company registrar for 1 week. Okay, they're going to hold on to it until they finish the process and return it by post to you again. In here, I want to mention something again. Let's just go step back. Okay, so if the company director is outside of China and you still want to go ahead with company registration, we will require this document. But I want to mention, okay, even if the company director is outside of China, we can register a company for you, but we will not be able to open a corporate bank account for your company. Okay, we will finish company registration, but without the bank account. For the bank account requires the company director to be in China. Okay, this information was mentioned in our previous presentation. You can go ahead and watch, but this is something very important to note. Okay, so once the company director is able to visit China or in China, only then can we open a corporate bank account for the company. And all right, so let's move on. We explained scenario number 2. And document number 3, this is the final document. Copy of passport, this is company supervisor. Remember, additional to company director, company supervisor is one of the mandatory positions in a Chinese company. So for them, copy of passport, okay, is required if a foreigner. If a Chinese citizen, copy of their Chinese ID. And additional, if Chinese citizen is your company supervisor, company registrar sometimes requires them to send their original ID to company registrar for 1 week. Okay, this happens sometimes. We experienced it. Okay, sometimes they don't require, sometimes they do require. If they require for verification purposes, you just have to ask your company supervisor. If it's a Chinese person, Chinese citizen, they need to send their original ID to company registrar. And also additional information, it's not listed here. I would like to mention, if the company supervisor is a Hong Kong resident or Macau resident or even Taiwan resident, they have a special ID for mainland China. Okay, you can speak to them, they know about it. In Hong Kong, in Macau, and in Taiwan, they have special ID for mainland China. So what we require is the copy of that mainland China ID. And company registrar in this scenario, they don't require the original ID, just a copy. Okay, you just have to be able to provide that. And on top of that, they might require a copy of their passport as well. Okay, for example, Hong Kong passport, Macau passport, or Taiwan passport. It's also very important. And like I mentioned in other videos, if you have any questions, feel free to email us. But first of all, please make sure you visit our website for China company registration. We have tons of information on our website. and also frequently asked questions. Please make sure you go through them, because like the name says it, this is frequently asked questions. They answer most of the questions we get on a regular basis. So we went ahead and put all the answers on the website. If you still have questions, feel free to email us. Either one of these emails are fine. And you can also add us on WeChat, WhatsApp, Telegram using this number. And you can text us. We will get back to you with proper answer, detailed answer to your questions. Thanks for watching, and we will post new presentations on China company formation on a regular basis. So make sure you subscribe to our channel and give a thumb up if you like this video, obviously. And you can turn on the notification bell as well, so you will get notified on our updated videos. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.